Hello, my friends from Snakes and Coffee. Well, today is a really cool day. We're going to be talking back to Arie again, and today is a little bit different. Not a reptile situation, but something that I got to be honest with you is super cool. Arie lives down there in Belize, and guess what he's got in his backyard? Jaguars. Ah, whoo, cool. But this one here, we get to see when he first spotted the idea that there's some jaguars around him, and then we're going to see his encounter with a jaguar. So cool. So cool. Guys, you're going to love this, right? We're going to talk about the jaguar, right? The when he saw it that moment, right? It's just going to be so cool. Also, today is a very special day for me. Not on this channel, but on my other channel, I have reached 5,000 followers. Yeah, guys, love it. So if you have a chance, go over to the Dyslexic Artist, check that out too. Guys, I love you all. You're just so nice to me, so nice to my friends. This is wonderful. So I want to see this whole reaction, right? You know, because I'm just excited by this because I think about it myself, you know, like I go in my backyard, I might see a skunk, right? But a jaguar, one of those beautiful creatures of, you know, the jungle that, you know, you could sometimes just think to yourself you might be able to see one. So it won't be too long before I'm talking to Arie, and we're going to find out his adventure with the jaguar, how things are going down there, and maybe what the next video might be. So get ready, guys, okay? So I'll be talking to Mr. Hoogerbrugge very shortly. So I am here with my buddy Arie Hoogerbrugge, a gentleman I met 35 years ago. We both have a passion for reptiles and animals and trees and everything that's in the world around us. We love that kind of stuff. Now, Arie had an encounter, and I got to be honest with you, jealous as all can be because a jaguar. Oh my God, just to see it and the oh, just I'm a little bit of see there I am. But that's the thing is that it is exciting. So guys, get ready. Like I said, I met Arie 35 years ago, and that guy is down there in Belize making a world of his own. That's amazing. And what I also want to do is make sure, because I kind of forgot, I think last time on the video, that Arie has his own YouTube channel and other ways to contact him, also through Facebook, right? So, anyways, buddy, how is it going today?
Things are going awesome. There's no doubt about it. When you live in the jungle, life is peachy, even though we don't have peaches here.
Well, okay, now today's video is about the Jaguar situation that you have, right? Kind of
Yep.
an ongoing thing for you. For a lot of people, this kind of never happens. Some people, it would be a lifetime reward, right? And you got to have that, and that was about 2 years ago, right? So,
Yeah.
can you explain to me what happened that day?
All right. So yes, that particular video was about 2 years ago, but I should mention that the potential, the potential for a video like that for me is almost on a daily occurrence because they live here, and I do live in an area that has got a fairly huge concentration of both jaguars and what they call red tigers. Red tigers are mountain lions or pumas, but here locally we call them red tigers. I think because of their like tan fur kind of color skin areas, so they call them red tigers down here. It's like
Oh,
the code word. Anyways, yes. So that day, almost 2 years ago, racing down the road on my bike, trying to catch up with a guy that we were doing some concrete work. We realized we were going to be short on some cement. He had already gone for some supplies. I was racing after him because he forgot his phone, whatever. Long story short. Anyways, headed down the road. I got to be honest, like whenever I do go down that road, and it's like a 2 mile stretch between my place and the village. So basically through the jungle, quite isolated. I'm always eyes forward and focused on what's in front of me, because the reality is that when a jaguar or a mountain lion or a tapir crosses the road, it's literally like a 3 second or potentially a 3 second experience, and that is it. And if you're looking down for like a second and a half and then look up, you know what I mean? You just catch the tail end and that's it. So you have to be very, very vigilant. And I am, because the chances of seeing a Jaguar the way that video showed is literally a once in a lifetime experience. So always eyes forward, always. Anyways, yes, racing down the road, eyes forward, noticed a bit of a shadow off to the side of the road, very suspicious looking. Instantly grabbed my phone because I think I'm looking at something, and sure enough, because that's the other thing, is the jungle never stops growing. It's always encroaching. The thing is you know, that clip aside, and it's funny because like when it comes to mountain lions, red tigers, I think I've seen 6 or 7 of them, and it's funny because those are also once in a lifetime experiences. And it's actually gotten to a point where I'm actually starting to forget exactly how many times I've come across a mountain lion on my road. Generally, it's at a distance. The closest I ever seen a mountain lion was probably about 35 feet. And I mean, my attitude is that statistically, there's nothing to be afraid of. And so it's like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not running away. I'm running towards. But yeah, it was a very, very cool experience, once in a lifetime.
Now, I did want to ask you, you said about tapir going across the road too, right?
Yeah.
Are they like, they don't get aggressive or scared of people, or do they come at people? I've always thought a tapir is very
like,
calm
I mean, the
animal.
thing is they're a big animal, and potentially if you were to corner one,
Yeah.
it could potentially get aggressive. What tapirs do, and I have heard this through another experience, long story short, is tapirs like to pound their front feet, and that's how you know they're kind of upset. But then basically, when they're in the jungle, they're completely surrounded with exits, whichever direction they want to go. So they never feel, in a sense, like if they came across people, they would never feel cornered. So, I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is they're going to beeline. They're not like an elephant or a rhino that's going to charge. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've never heard of that. But yeah, like a tapir is basically just, you know, if it wants to run, it's going to turn around and run.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen 6 tapirs here in the country on a canoe trip, which is where I learned about the whole stamping of the feet kind of experience. As far as around my house, I've seen their tracks. I've seen the tracks twice within a couple of days, so being the same tapir. And once I heard one kind of going through the jungle on my land. But I've never actually, that's one animal I've never seen on my land, but they are here.
Yeah, I would be totally blown away to see a tapir.
Oh,
so cool.
yeah, but my point is it's like, you know, because being completely surrounded by the jungle, you've just got this narrow way down the road, and people don't really think about how time goes. But once knowing better, always looking forward, I had to navigate my bike around like a little bit of a rut, and I set my eyes down for a second and a half to make sure I didn't go over the handlebars. I looked up, and literally 20 feet in front of me was the tail of a mountain lion crossing the road. 20 feet in front of me, and I missed it because I looked away for a second and a half. And you only have to do that once to know, like, that sucks. But yeah, I looked away for a second and a half, 20 feet in front of me.
Wow.
And they've gone. That's it.
So we're going to look at the video right now.
Okay.
I think what we'll do is we'll just look at the video, and then we'll pop right back to talking a little bit more about seeing some prints around the house just in the last little while, and some of your concerns. Okay, so we'll do that. I think people will hear your breathing and that, the excitement of it and that.
Once in a lifetime, it was kind of like a heart throbbing, kind of heart beating kind of scenario.
Now, in the last little while, you've seen some prints of the Jaguars around your place, and you do have a big concern, not only for yourself, but again, like you said, the chances of something going wrong with the jaguar or the mountain lion really statistically isn't there. But you
No,
do have two little buddies that are
sure.
very important to you. So can you tell me a little bit about the buddies, how they came to be, and what your concerns are, and what are you doing now to protect them?
Some tracks on my road. These are obviously either mountain lion or jaguar tracks. I'm just on my road this morning, headed to the village that way. I live that way.
Sure. So I have two dogs,
Mhm.
Sophie and Pepper, and they showed up 2 years ago, completely malnourished and starved. They were, I mean, I think they came from the village to the left of me. I don't even really know how many miles through the jungle that they traveled. It was pretty apparent that they hadn't eaten or had anything to drink in, I don't even know how. I mean, I'm not, that's the thing is I'm a reptile guy. I am not a dog person. And so these two dogs showed up completely malnourished. And it's like, what are you going to do? Right. So, of course, I fed them. And of course, they weren't going anywhere after that kind of deal. Um, Two things is one is what I refer to as bush dogs, not like wild dogs like Africa bush dogs, but bush dogs in the sense that these are dogs that if it was up to them, they would love to go hunting every day, all day in the jungle for spiny tail iguanas or whatever, you name it. I mean, when the monkeys show up in my yard, it drives them nuts. And they do, on occasion, escape my yard. And so the thing is when you have dogs that are active hunting dogs like that, basically what they do is they will literally run into the bush and just be looking for scents and like scent, like, you know, of other animals. And they'll just fall, you know, and if something goes, you know, some animal crashes through the bush or whatever, that's it. They're racing after that. And of course, 9 times out of 10, they'll lose that animal, but then they'll start searching and then they'll be on the on track for another animal and so on and so forth. And then before you know it, they've been in the bush for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, who knows how long.
Mm.
The reality is more so like we're talking about jaguars, but more so, I believe our concentration of mountain lions is probably greater than the jaguars because, like I said, I've seen 6, 7 mountain lions. One for sure, but maybe 2 jaguars. So it's definitely the mountain lions are more common. It would be a guarantee that the mountain lions would take out the dogs. That's a guarantee. You have your dogs running loose. It's a guarantee. At some point, many people in the village 2 miles away. The one time when I did see that mountain lion from like say 30 feet away, I kind of put a post out on Facebook and I had a few people message me about they were aware of that mountain lion and it had taken out quite a few dogs in the village kind of deal. So the one thing the mountain lions do go after is dogs for sure. And so, yes, so I keep my dogs fenced in a yard that is complete, like a yard that's around my house. And I do not and because they are bush dogs, they're not trained. So it's like in the grand scheme of things, they are better now because they know that the punishment for them to escape and not come back right away is to go on a chain. And they realize that they would rather come back when they're called now. But initially, when like for the first year and a half, whenever they'd escape, they were gone for an hour, hour and a half until they kind of got bored and they come back. But that hour, hour and a half, high risk, guaranteed high risk.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. You want to make sure, right?
Well, you know, I mean, they're okay. Like I said, I'm a reptile guy, but it's like they're okay to have around. You know, I kind of got a little bit.
I'm pretty sure they like you a lot, and you probably like.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't. I don't. It would just suck for them to get taken out by a mountain lion. It just seems like
absolutely, absolutely. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Wow. Every day you get to see stuff that others just never will ever get a chance to. That is so cool. Well, you know what? I think we're going to wrap it up. But before we wrap it up here, because I'm really loving this, this is great. And I know people are going to be excited to see more of what's going on with you. I saw iguanas and you you actually hatched out some iguanas. I think basically you're trying to save the eggs. Can you explain that a bit to me there?
Yeah, we could get into that in the next video. Yeah, usually I have I get cement mix in for like by the dump truck load to do various cement projects around the farm, and the sand attracts the iguanas to lay their eggs. And it seems like usually at least once every year when it's egg laying season, that at least one iguana will lay its eggs in the pile of gravel, sand gravel mix. And usually at some point I will find myself accidentally digging into it, because you're digging away and then all of a sudden an egg pops and rolls out. It's like, oh, okay. And it's, you pretty much, I know exactly what's going on right away. And so, yeah, so then I'll basically artificially incubate the eggs. And then when they hatch, release them, kind of deal.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. Well, I like that. You're doing a little conserving situation there. That's beautiful. Arie, I'm going to tell you something right now, buddy. My jealousy level is really high because of all the stuff that you get to deal with. But I do love the fact that you're willing to share with me and our friends, right? There's going to be more videos coming out, and there's more lizards for us to see. So I think maybe that's what we'll talk about. The next time we see each other, we'll talk about the lizards. I really like that. You've got some big lizards, small lizards, all kinds of stuff to look at. So I think people will be excited to see that. This has been nothing but fun for me. Guys, check out everything that we can. We'll make sure we'll try to post it up here. I don't know exactly how that works, but boom, boom, boom. All about Arie. And on Facebook, it's Welcome to Belize, right?
No, on Facebook, it's Safari Arie.
Oh, Safari Arie. Sorry.
Basically, everything as far as my social media is Safari Arie. Whether it's YouTube is Safari Arie, Facebook Safari Arie, my website safariarie.ca. My website, I'll just put a plug. I document, blog. Basically, I blog. Basically, I journal every day in the jungle, so I have all that kind of stuff. Tons of photos. I also blog jungle lifestyle blog posts for people that are interested in actually living in the jungle, kind of deal. But so yeah, everything is Safari Arie, from all my social media handles to my website.
Okay, guys, so make sure you see that, what Arie's just said. That way you can check out even more. Like I said, a blog, that's wicked, right? A daily occurrence, the projects that he works on, some of the, just the other thing too is I know that you definitely would like to have some people maybe join you in your world, and that's going to be really cool too. All right, buddy. I don't want to say goodbye, but we're going to do that. So ciao, out of here, my friend. Thank you so much for your time and effort, because I know you're always doing some kind of project down there. So you're always busy doing something, right?
Yep.
I'm going to get back to my artwork. Maybe I don't know if you know, but I now have 5,000 subscribers on my dyslexic artist thing that just came out yesterday. So I'm at another peak there. So that's fun. And Snakes and Coffee is building up because we have these great people watching you and me. So let's keep it going. And that's it for today. Peace out, brother.
Yep.